Hey everybody, how we doing on another kind of walk and talk? This one's a sit down. I thought I'd give my girl here, Carmen, a bit of a better angle right there, so we'll go from here. So, what's with the title? Where's the beef? And Marty Mcfly, who I am not. I am not a time-traveling fictitious character played by Michael J. Fox. I know that's a stunning revelation to many of you out there. However, where's the beef? What do I mean? Well, there are people out there. Hello, Miss Sperry. Nice to see you there. And by the way, I want to say thank you to Pretty Kitty for the $10 super chat on my laundromat AMA. I did not see it at the end. You got to understand this is on a little bit of a delay. 43 people there, 7 likes. Let's like this up. So, anyway, a lot of times you'll see people that are trolls in my audience. And they'll say, you're a coward, you won't debate this person or that person or yada yada yada, why won't you take this person on? Well, I'm gonna make it plain and simple. First of all, I'm not afraid to ban people that I know are just there to be disruptive, not to be part of the conversation, to not only try to troll their favorite personalities, but be disingenuous and dishonest. That doesn't fly with me. And anybody that has attacked me relentlessly for years on end without ever talking to me or contacting me, etc., and has demanded my attention, why would I give that to them? In the old Back to the Future movies, Karma, you like those movies? I think Karma might be a fan of those movies. The way that you would get Marty Mcfly to fight with you is you would call him Chicken. How cool were the 80s? A name like Chicken would cause some kind of an altercation. I mean, unbelievable, right? So and then he couldn't help himself. He'd get so fired up. And I just don't play those games, man. I think they're disruptive. And in fact, some people have been upset that maybe I want to hold that debate. And I'm like, why wouldn't I want to hold that debate? I obviously think there's a big intelligence connection with Epstein, right? I think there's a ton of different evidence out there. I was really impressed with what George Galloway had to say on RT. I understand that's a two-parter. I need to watch the second part of that. And who knew that Rick Sanchez was going to be somebody asking big questions? I believe Rick Sanchez, was it CNN? I think it was CNN back in the day, but he was definitely establishment U.S. media. So good for him. And, Whitney Webb, I still haven't read that piece. I've got to, listen, I'm not going to go live with the information on that piece until I actually read it, and every single one of those pieces took me over an hour to read. I'm being honest with myself. Let's see. Anything interesting in the comments? I am on BitChute. If you haven't seen my videos, they are also on BitChute. You can catch them there, but we're trying to build this platform, are we not, Carm? This is the platform we're building on. Because we want to be a part of the international conversation. Let's talk about YouTube for a second. YouTube itself is the biggest platform in the world. It is an unbelievable tool and resource for people like myself to get information out, not only about Epstein, but if you didn't watch my previous video that I just did, please go check it out on the death of David Koch. Because, look, I'm not saying David Koch is a good person. In fact, I don't like the policies and moves of David and Charles Koch and their cohorts and other brothers, etc., etc. But I'm not out there to be like, he was a devil, I'm so glad he's in hell. In fact, that's not even something that I've said about the Epstein case, where obviously Epstein was a predator and a monster. In fact, later on today, when we do an Epstein update, we're going to be talking about how basically his best friend said that Epstein had some kind of a mental disorder that caused his numerous sexual proclivities, and that his victims were trollops, and I forget what the other word is, but like he basically, the victims deserved it. They deserved to be treated like that by Epstein. Gross. Just totally gross. I see some Cappy comments in there. If you want my take on the whole Isaac Cappy situation, I'll give it to you right now. Oh wow, we got a wedding over here, guys. Hold on, we're gonna swing this around. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you got to be able to see it by now, right? Yeah, if you can see it in the back, we got a wedding. So, here we go. We want to hear about the Cappy stuff. So, for those that don't know, I had Cappy on We Are Change's backup channel. It was one of the first long form interviews I've done. So you need to go check that out. News for a Change. It's an hour long. It's pretty well done, I thought. And it gets past what Cappy knew firsthand and what Cappy did not know firsthand. Okay? So a lot of what Cappy said was hearsay within the industry or what he had heard from other people's. Now, had he hobnobbed with people? Sure. The only really firsthand stuff that he really had claimed knowledge of, and not knowledge of actually seeing or witnessing the abuse, but having confirmation by those people, would be Seth Green and his wife, Claire. That's number one. Let's get that out of the way. Now, I had private conversations with Isaac Cappy where I was telling him, listen, man, you know, we talked about a lot of things, arranged from 9/11 to et cetera, what I thought about Pedogate, Pizzagate, yada, 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 and what I thought the best pieces of evidence were and the worst pieces of evidence were, and, you know, how far I was willing to go, et cetera. But he was diving down that rabbit hole so deep and buying into everything, including the Q thing that I have talked about at length, right? And I think he just fell way down towards the rabbit hole. And he may have told on people like, quote unquote, Tom Hanks and Spielberg, but he had no firsthand knowledge of that. And I have no firsthand knowledge of that. And I've seen no convincing secondhand knowledge of either one of those. Now, Spielberg, you could argue on Crazy Days and Nights blog that there was, there's been mentions of Spielberg, but there's also been mentions of Kubrick. I brought that up in my graining video. So I think I have to take that with a grain of salt. And all the Hanks stuff, I'd need to see a lot more evidence, a whole lot more than just conjecture where anything can smear your career. The other thing about, Cappy, I'm not saying he was a drug addict by any means. I think he really just got caught up in this rabbit hole. I mean, he was convinced, guys, that John McCain had not died of brain cancer and that he had been taken to Guantanamo Bay and assassinated there and killed, taken out. I'm sorry. I just don't think people live in the same reality as this world. And I get it. Look, when you have the Epstein case and things are as crazy as they are, when you have paintings of Bill Clinton, when you have connections to transhumanism, when you have a guy who had a ranch and he wanted to cryogenically freeze his head and penis, I get it. It's hard to have discernment sometimes, but Cappy actually also texted me, I think about 3 months before the incident. And because of that, I don't even know what to say. Like, when that happened, I was just like, I tried to bring him back again. I said, hey man, keep your head up, have discernment, try to keep it together. But from what I saw of that last stream, and I know there's supposed to be some other stream that isn't out there, et cetera, but until I see proof of that, that's just another frazzled rip. Remember that? Frazzled rip. And people, listen, when that supposed Hillary Clinton, Huma Abedin tape was out supposedly on the dark web, there were people driving around confirming its existence, that people had seen it, et cetera. And I'll tell you, as soon as the rumors came out about it, I contacted people I thought were credible. I wanted to know whether there was any validity or had anybody actually found anything, because I wasn't able to find it. And instead, people literally ran with it as a real thing. And it's the same thing with the laptop quote, with the Gateway Pundit. I know there's a laptop. I know that Anthony Weiner had some really devilish and terrible things on there. We know that he created CP. At the very least, that was through Skype sessions that he recorded with young girls. I know we have a corrupt system where this guy is now not only walking around free after less than 15 months at a resort-style prison, right? He's going to now get into the legal marijuana business, where he'll make hundreds of millions of dollars over time. I guarantee, because we're going to allow that, because that's the system we have. We have a system that allows predators like, who is it? Oh, sorry, my brother's texting me. We have predators like Dennis Hassert that still are not serving time in jail. That again served less than his sentence. He's an old man in a wheelchair that just happened to rape probably dozens of children and was labeled a serial child molester by a judge, and everybody fucking ignores it. Third in line for the presidency. Third in line. Let people like Tom Foley off who are heading up all these little children's acts. Meanwhile, he's sexting 15-year-old pages. Never did jail time. Did a little rehab. Had his own radio show. Now he's ready to get back into politics. He's done his time. The fuck out of here with that. 35 likes. I know I got a little wild there, but let's get him up to at least 50. Can we get 15 more likes from the 118 out there, guys? So, you know, me and Karma, we're going to finish up our walk. Obviously, my dog's doing pretty well right now. Who knows what's going to happen again. We're day 9 from that 2-week to 2-month diagnosis. I don't think she's going in the next 3 days. We got her on the Joe Tippins treatment of curcum, vitamin E, fenbenzidol, and CBD. We'll see how it goes. I'm very happy with the results. I don't have a doped up dog on the couch that can't move. I got a dog that, at the very least, is hopefully going to enjoy the last few days, weeks, months, or hopefully maybe even a year of her life if this works. So we'll see. But you'll see it with me, you know. And with that being said, we got more videos on the way. Like I said, some stuff out of the archives. You can support my work by not only subscribing and sharing it, but I do have a GoFundMe. Every $5, $10, $15 donation means so much to me, guys, and that's how I'm able to do this 7 days a week. So thanks again, and I'll see you on the flip side.